Hello everyone, I welcome you all to today's session wherein we will be covering the topic time and work. So, time and work as you all know is one of the important topics that you have from the arithmetic section. Arithmetic itself is a very important component of the CAT examination, right. So, we regularly get questions from time and work topic, so we shall be discussing this area, right. So, in today's session there is not a lot that I want to cover, right. I will just be talking about two things in this video, right, from time and work topic. One is the concept of work, right. Second is how do we represent it, how do we measure it, right. These are the only two things that we will be taking up. Now, of course, in the topic time and work, we have several variables, like you have the variable time is there, number of days in which the work can be finished, number of hours, number of minutes. The second variable is number of men, number of women, number of children, alright, or rather number of people, alright, who are working in the group. That's the second variable. And third variable is the amount of work that we are completing. Now, when we say amount of work that we are completing, work can be quantified, right, in several ways. For example, I could say the work done by a group is painting one side of the hall, right, one wall of the hall, right, or the work could be construction of one very long bridge, or the work could be assembling a particular pen, right, taking the body, taking the cap, assembling it, right. So, the work could be anything, but still as part of the problem solving we will try to quantify it, we will try to call it something, right. So, one of the ways in which the work can be quantified is that is called as, the units is called as man days. So, how do we quantify the work in terms of man days? It is pretty simple. If m number of men can complete, m number of men complete the work in say n number of days, then we say that the quantity of work, the amount of work is m into n man days. Okay. So, that means, for example, if there is a new project that has come up in a IT company, right, and it gets to know that that particular task would require a team of 40 members to work on it for 100 hours. So, immediately the team which is responsible for allocation of the project would quantify the work as 40 into 100, which is 4000 man hours. Likewise, we are saying man days here. So, this is one way in which the work could be quantified. Second is, the work can be quantified in terms of this second way, which is called as unitary approach. So, in unitary approach, what we do is the total quantity of work, we simply take it as 1 unit. Now, that work could be assembling 100 pens, it could be building 4 bridges, any work, we will simply call it as 1 unit, right. That entire work is 1 unit, we will say. So, if you take this further, this discussion point further, and let us say if you are given with a further information that a person A can complete a piece of work in a number of days. What does this mean? So, when A is able to complete the work in a number of days, it means that A is working at a uniform rate. It will not be mentioned to you always, these are certain assumptions that we will have to take. So, A will be working at a uniform rate, that means every day he will do same amount of work. That further means A in one day will cover 1/8 of the work, can I say. For example, imagine this A is 10 days. So, if someone can complete a work in 10 days, that means each day they will be doing 1/10 of the work. That is what it would mean, right. Similarly, there is second person B who can do the same work in B days. What would this mean? B can do 1/bth of the work in one day, 1 upon B. Now, if they are working together, so they will be able to complete this much work in one day. So, when you simplify this, this is A plus B by A into B. This is the amount of work that they can complete together in one day. So if that is the amount of work, the fraction of the work that they can complete in one day, can I not directly say the number of days will be nothing but reciprocal of that? So this is the formula that we can make use of, right, whenever we want to find out time taken by two people working together. If each takes individually A days and B days, so together they will be taking A into B by A plus B days. So you can make a note of that formula. So for example, if I tell you A can complete a work in 10 days, B can do the same work in 15 days. So together they would be able to complete the work in A into B, 10 into 15 by 10 plus 15, which when you simplify you will get 6 days. So this is by unitary approach. So this is the second way in which we quantify the work. We say the total work is 1 unit, and based on that, these are the calculations that we can perform. Now the third way to quantify the work would be, that is called as the opposite of this, which is non-unitary. Let's keep it simple. We simply call it as non-unitary approach. So what do we mean by non-unitary? So basically here the total work will not be 1, but the total work is going to be equal to LCM of number of days taken by each of the people to complete the work. Example, I'll try to explain this with a question. Say if I tell you A can complete a work in 20 days, B can do the same work in 25 days. If they are working together, how long would it take for completing the work? So looking at 20 and 25, the first thing that we'll do is, in this question, total work. We'll take it as LCM of 20 and 25, which is 100 units. So if it is 100 units, A completes the work in 20 days, means can I say the rate of working of A, 20 days for 100 units. So can I say will be 100 by 20, which is 5 units per day. So this rate is also called as efficiency of A, right? A efficiency. What is efficiency of B or rate of B? 100 by 25, which is 4 units per day. It's 4 units per day. Now if they are working together, their combined rate will be 9 units per day. So together they are able to complete 9 units of work every day. So thus can I say total number of days will be, in this case, total work to be done by the combined rate, 100 by 9 days, which is nothing but 11 1 by 9 days. Okay, 11 1 by 9th day. See, the same problem, the same answer could also be have done like this by unitary approach. So if you go for the unitary approach, directly we could say if this is A, this is B, my answer is A into B by A plus B. So 5 goes 5 times, 5 goes 9 times, 20 into 5 is 100 by 9 directly. This will be much faster. That formula would have been much faster as compared to this non-unitary approach. But let me also tell you this, there are certain problem types wherein non-unitary approach will be a better way of solving the question. We'll look at those. We'll look at 1-2 examples now, right? So these are some basic concepts, basic idea that I wanted to share with you before we discuss some questions here. Look at this question. Try it out. You can just pause the screen, try out this question, see what your answer is. We'll anyways be discussing it now. It says Abhishek can complete a certain work in 20 days. Chetan can do the same work in 25, the same values that we took. Abhishek, it's 20 days. And Chetan, it's 25 days. They are not working together throughout. Observe what they are saying. They started working together and Chetan left 2 days before completion of the work. So when was the work completed? We don't know. But whenever it was supposed to be completed, 2 days before that Chetan left. In how many days was the work completed? So let's assume, let the work was completed in n days. So it is n days. So first thing, let's use non-unitary approach. So if I use non-unitary approach, what is the total work that will take? LCM of these two, which is 100 units. This would mean what? What will be efficiency of Abhishek? Efficiency of Abhishek will be 100 by 20, which is 5 units per day. This is 4 units per day. So initially they were working together. See, how are they working here? Initially they started the work together. Now let's say the work was supposed to finish here. So just 2 days before this, Chetan left. Chetan left. So that means only Abhishek will work for the remaining 2 days. So that means overall, if you will see, Abhishek has worked for the entire n days, whereas Chetan has worked for n minus 2 days, right? Can we say this? So can I say what will be work done by Abhishek plus work done by Chetan? It will be 100 units. What is work done by Abhishek? He worked at the rate of 5 units for how many days? N days. What about Chetan? He worked at the rate of 4 units for how many days? N minus 2. This should be equal to 100. So 4n plus 5n, which is 9n, will be 108, and hence the value of n will get as 12, 108 by 9. So thus the answer is 12 days. We may say this. I hope we are clear with this, with the question. Another way of looking at it could be, notice, I am still going for non-unitary approach only, but another way, observe, in the last 2 days, final 2 days, who is working? Only Abhishek is working. What is his rate? 5 units. So that means, can I say, out of 100, 10 units were finished here by Abhishek alone. So that means out of 100, 10 units are done here. That means the rest 90 will be done here. And who are working in this period? It is Abhishek and Chetan. What is their combined efficiency? 9 units. So for doing 90 units, here can I say they will take 10 days. Together they would have worked for 10 days to complete 90 units at the rate of 9 units, combined efficiency of 9 units per day. So thus the total number of days is again 10 and 2, which is 12. We could also look at it like this. This is the non-unitary way of looking at the problem. Let us also look at the unitary approach, and then you decide for yourself which approach do you think will be a better approach. So it says Abhishek is 20 days. So that means Abhishek in 1 day will finish 1 upon 20th. Chetan is 25. So Chetan in 1 day will be 1 upon 25. They started working together and Chetan left 2 days before completing the work. So if I assume again, let the number of days be x. Of completing be x. So can I say Abhishek worked for the entire x days, whereas Chetan at this rate worked for x minus 2 days, and this total work should be equal to what? This is unitary approach, so it should be 1. So you now solve this. 20 and 25, the LCM is 100. It will become what? 4 times 4x, 5 times 5 into x minus 2. So when you solve this, you get 9x minus 10 will be equal to, just a minute, sorry, this is 4 times, this is 5 times, and this one is 4 times. So 9x minus not 10 but 8 is 100, and hence the value of x again will be 12. So unitary approach is not going to take a lot of time again, but I generally suggest students to avoid this. Is the reason is, in unitary approach you will have to deal with fractions. In non-unitary approach we can avoid fractions entirely. That is the reason why I generally prefer, I also suggest students to go for non-unitary approach. But both are okay, both are good. For example, look at this next one. Pause the screen, try out this question, and then again we can start our discussion. It says Arvind can complete a piece of work in 17 days. Arvind is 17 days. Bharat is 11 days. Charan is 23 days. If Arvind started the work alone and leaves after 4 days, Bharat then takes over on the next day, that is on the 6th day. 4 complete days Arvind worked. On the 5th day he worked only for 1/4 day. On the next day, that is 6th day, Bharat takes over and works for 5.5 days. So Bharat would have worked for 6th day, 7th day, 8th day, 9th day, 10th day, and 11th half day. 11th half day. Charan then takes over the work on the next day. Again on the 12th day, Charan takes over and completes the remaining work alone. In how many days was the work finished? In how many days was the work finished? Okay, notice here if you go for non-unitary approach in this question, it would be one of the most toughest jobs to do because you'll have to take LCM of these three first. Not so easy, it will take some time to calculate the LCM only. After LCM again you have to take the rates and all. It's not looking favorable to us. In fact, if you look at the days for which they have worked, for example, look at Arvind. He has worked for 4 1/4 days. Look at this. What is Arvind's rate in 1 day? Bharat's rate in 1 day? And likewise Chetan in 1 day. Right? Now, Arvind is working for 4 1/4 days, which is nothing but when you simplify 17/4. So, thus can I say, work done by Arvind will be 1/17 into 17/4. 4 1/4 is 17/4, which will give us what? 1/4. So, 1/4 work was done by Arvind, right? In how many days? Please note 5 days. We will not say 4 1/4 because the 5th day is entirely taken. Now, what is work done by Bharat? It's 1/11 into how much time? 5 1/2 is 11/2. So, Bharat is doing half the work. So, that means, please notice, and how many days is he taken? 5 1/2 means 6 days. So, this is Bharat, this is Arvind, this is Bharat. Now, that means Charan will now have only 1/4 work left, 1/4 and half, that means 3/4 are done. So, Charan will do only 1/4 of the work done by Charan is 1/4, and that will be equal to what? Number of days for which Charan worked into 1/23. So, that means Charan worked for how many days? 23/4, which is nothing but 5 3/4 days. 5 3/4 days. That means in how many days was the work finished? So, after 11 days, Charan will take 5 3/4 more days. So, that means total number of days here will be 11 and 16 3/4. Now, please note, we are not taking the fractional days for both Arvind and Bharat because after Arvind's work, Bharat is taking over only on the next day. That means 5 days have passed. Similarly, after Bharat's work, Charan is taking over next day. That means 6 days have passed. But after 3/4, 5 3/4 day, the work is finished. So, there is no taking over left, right? Thus, the total answer is going to be 16 3/4. So, this is one example wherein non-unitary approach is not the favorable way. In fact, by unitary approach itself, we will get the answer swiftly. So, thus, don't be under the impression when I say non-unitary is better, that doesn't mean always. So, you'll have to look at the question and decide which approach fits better in the given situation and accordingly take the path. Okay. So, on that note, I would like to end the session here, but before I end, again would like to remind you all that for more such videos, right, because we have plenty of such videos on YouTube, right. For more such videos, please subscribe to our channel because we will be releasing more of such videos, right. Not only the concept ones, but also the question discussion that happens, right. So, please subscribe so that you get access to all those videos, right. Thank you and all the very best.